There's 5 people there. All right. Okay.
Melissa Herring?
And help yourself to Ghirardelli.
We're helping.
Okay. So, how many people here love chocolate? I guess the better
Oh, yeah.
question is, who doesn't like chocolate? We consume a lot of candy at work, particularly chocolate. We eat chocolate that is dark, orange, white, bitter, semi-sweet, and unsweetened. As Halloween approaches, we will find various chocolates emerge in every corner of our office, and they will tempt us in a variety of forms, such as fresh buttercreams, sinfully smooth truffles, and delectable pralines. There are different types of chocolates, and each of these have different effects on the body. Some aspects of chocolate can be beneficial, while others can be harmful, and our health may be dependent on the types of chocolates that we eat. Personally, I love chocolate. There is a color or flavor of chocolate that I don't like, and I've done my research in the last couple of weeks preparing for the speech. Today I'll discuss some fascinating facts about chocolate. I will discuss the history of chocolate and its production, the benefits of dark chocolate, and the ingredients in chocolate that are not considered to be very healthy. In order to understand the benefits and risks of eating chocolate, we must first discuss its origins. Amanda Benson of the Smithsonian Magazine describes the history of chocolate, and she says that many modern historians have estimated that chocolate has been around for about 2,000 years. The Mayans have used cocoa beans as currency. Chocolate was originally made from toasted cocoa beans, water, and spices, and the Aztecs were introduced to cocoa beans by traveling merchants who sold them, and they were first used in cocoa drinks. The word chocolate comes from the Aztec word zocolat, which means bitter water. Chocolate eventually reached England around the 17th century, and John Cadbury owned a small grocery store in Birmingham where he sold teas and coffees. He started experimenting by combining cocoa with sugar and turning it into a drink. Cadbury became a huge company which opened several factories in the UK. And in the 1700s, mechanical mills were created to squeeze out cocoa butter, which in turn helped to create hard, durable chocolate bars. During the Industrial Revolution, these mills became large on a grand scale, and they created lots of chocolate, and companies began mass advertising of this new invention to sell much of the chocolate that we see today. Now I'm going to tell you how chocolates are made. According to Elizabeth Lebeau, a culinary expert, chocolate is the product of a long, complicated process that begins with the bean pods of the cocoa tree. This plant is native to South and Central America, about 20 degrees north and south of the equator, and it is known as the food of the gods. The cocoa beans are harvested from the pods of the plant, fermented, dried, and then they are roasted. This produces the wonderfully deep, complex flavor of chocolate, and the shells are removed, and what is left is called the nib. But this is not the chocolate that we're looking for, so we have to do more. The nib is ground into a liquid called chocolate liqueur. This is not an alcoholic drink. The liqueur is hardened into an unsweetened baking bar, and the liqueur can be separated into either cocoa butter or cocoa powder. The powder is good for decoration on food as a dusting agent, and the cocoa butter adds a delicate flavor and a creamy butter-like texture of the chocolate. To create the chocolate we crave, the cocoa butter can be combined with sugar and other ingredients. The cocoa percentage is the amount of cocoa that is in the chocolate, so the higher the cocoa percentage, the more intense the flavor. Now that we have a better idea of how chocolate is made, let's look at the health benefits chocolate can actually provide. You may have heard that chocolate has antioxidants and that it's good for you. Well, cocoa beans contain flavonoids, and flavonoids are a group of chemical compounds that have antioxidant properties. WebMD says antioxidants are good for the heart, so they relax blood vessels, they reduce blood pressure, improve blood flow, and it helps. It has the same properties as aspirin in that it helps prevent blood clotting. A Discovery News study reported a decreased risk for cardiovascular mortality in 50% of men who ate cocoa. The flavonoids also act as a brain stimulator, a cough preventer, and antidiarrheal. Therefore, you want a high percentage of cocoa if you want the benefits. Dark chocolate is dark because it has the highest amount of cocoa, so the darker the chocolate, the better. Now that we know why dark chocolate is beneficial, let's look at why milk chocolate is not very healthy. Milk chocolate has some cocoa liqueur, but not nearly enough as dark chocolate. There's an inverse relationship between the amount of cocoa and the amount of sugar in chocolate bars. So your standard Hershey bar has about 80% sugar and only about 20% cocoa. So you need to look for chocolates without the milk solids added. Studies have shown that milk can interfere with the absorption of flavonoids, decreasing its health benefits. If that's not enough, chocolate bars have about 135 to about 150 calories per ounce. White chocolate is really not chocolate at all. There's no cocoa liqueur in it. It's just the fat or cocoa butter of the cocoa bean that contains no flavonoids. So it's like drinking orange juice without the vitamin C. As a good rule of thumb, if the chocolate is any color but dark, it's most likely not good for you. There are health risks associated with these types of chocolates. These include obesity, abnormal heart rhythms, hyperactivity due to high sugar content, and low nutritional value. So, I've discussed the health benefits and risks associated with eating chocolates, and the nutritional value of chocolate depends on the percent of cocoa found in it. Perhaps now you're more informed about how chocolate is produced, understand the health benefits of dark chocolate, and the risks associated with other types of chocolate that lack the original cocoa ingredient. Thank you.